Well guys, good morning, good afternoon, and good evening to all. Welcome to Hartung Family Farms, and today I am up crop scouting right now. I am on a wet portion of the farm. I'm actually at our long farm right now. This is usually a wet, sloppy mess. And it's pretty firm. A little bit of water here. Just a little bit. But overall, not bad. I think for sure this farm could be worked tomorrow, if not even this afternoon. So this is, like I said, usually a wet hole. There's a spring right here. You can kind of see a little bit of water. A little bit of water standing. Or not standing, but just sitting here. Well, actually, it's a little shinier than I thought. Like I said, this is usually the worst spot, though. We have not been in the fields in roughly 3 weeks. It's been a drought. Well, not a drought. It's been the opposite of a drought. We've really kicked back our drought. So over the last year, we've definitely been short on moisture. Yeah, she's a little tacky still in through here. Yeah, maybe not. We'll just have to see. So I'm just thinking out loud. But a majority of this field is good. Just that spot is usually tough. Last year we had a pretty large drought, but over the last month we've gotten roughly 6 to 8 inches of rain across the farm over that couple weeks time frame, and that really helped kick back the drought. You know, our subsoil moisture, the moisture 20 inches down or so, 20 to 40 inches down, has really beefed back up because of that kind of sustained moisture. So we're good. We're good for a while. We're ideally hoping now to get our crop in. It's mid-April. Like I said, we haven't been in the fields in a couple weeks and we need to get going. So yeah, overall, a majority of it is dry. But we just might have to wait a little bit, maybe towards the afternoon for sure, maybe even tomorrow for this field, just because of that wet hole spot. But overall, I think we'll be good to go by this afternoon. So we do have a 3-day window. It's Saturday right now. Monday, late night, early Tuesday morning, we're actually supposed to get another round of storm of where we're gonna get a ½ inch to 2 inches of rain. So we got a little bit of a window. We're gonna try to get a couple days worth of work done. And then after that rainstorm, the window hopefully will open up. When I say window, the planting window or the field work window. We got a lot of weeds starting to pop up and grow, so we got to get some spraying done here at some point. We got a lot of stuff going. So we've had an early spring as far as heat units goes. So our weeds on ground that really doesn't get worked, like our soybeans, are really starting to pop up. So we're gonna have to figure out something to do with our herbicide program. Probably gonna have to spray some bean stubble fields first. So, I don't know what to see, but I'm gonna head to my farm now. I think we'll be good here. So the part that I visited is the wettest part of our fields. We have this field, this field, this field, kind of not next to the road, but, and I think we'll be good. Stop in here real quick, see if there's anything to see. We'll keep moving, head to my, just got a call from Pat. We're gonna be getting some fertilizer here shortly. So I gotta hightail it and get up to the farm. But first, like I said, swinging by my piece real quick. Just gonna see how wet it is in the wet spot, kind of by the waterway. We'll head up and I gotta get the spreader ready to go ASAP. My farm's gonna be good to go as well. Cute. Yeah, there's the chopper truck. Must be bringing feed down south. Checking on the cows right now though. Look at our wheat. Our wheat looks pretty good. How am I gonna get to this? Not that skinny. Gotta get the oil. Oil is plenty good. Should be. We just changed it like 15 hours ago. Need to get this spreader switched over. Need to basically change some settings around, get this thing going because we need to head south with it ASAP. Got my operator's manual. Got the thing set that I can right now without the hydraulics going. So a couple things I got to do. I adjusted my flow divider in the back. That is the essentially the mechanism that goes from the belt to the spinners. So you can slide that front and back. They gave me a starting recommendation. I got my gate set to 2 inches. So now we're gonna get the spinner speed set. To do that, I gotta have the hydraulics running. Fire this girl up, get some fuel in her, and get ready to roll. Almost didn't wanna. Girl up. Okay, just got everything dialed in, so I'm working on getting the spreader speed well I want it, and that's right there. 640, 650, that'll be good enough. And that's just changing that needle valve right there. It's just a screw. Okay, we are ready to roll. Let's go ahead and head down to the lawn farm. Let's get some spreading some fertilizer. Well, the local co-op was doing some anhydrous spreading. Definitely a little tacky they were doing it, but they were sending it, so I think we're going to send it today. That and the guys are working on the toolbar. And I'm heading south. Hopefully this afternoon we'll finish this field up, jump over to this field, get working on some gas. Neighbor's about ready to start running some gas. It's go time. Jeff's out and about. Yeah, the bottoms here are still pretty wet. Whew, very wet. There's some standing water there. So I'm gonna be loading my fert right up here. And here I sit waiting on my fert. This is that needle valve I was talking about, should be good with it. So, we're waiting on our fertilizer to come here. We're having a local co-op come bring it to us just because we don't have our own fertilizer conveyor quite yet. We can't do it ourselves. So, that's all right. So I'm just gonna sit here and wait. And hopefully by that time we'll have about 10 minutes of the fertilizer here. And then Nathan will come here with the pan test, because when you're spreading lime, you don't really care too much about distribution. There's just so much material coming out. But when you got fertilizer, you're only putting out 400 pounds per acre. And there's 52,365 square feet an acre, something like that. So less than 1 pound for every 100 square feet, something like that. So because of that, got to make sure that we're going to be good to go. That we got to make sure that we're as even as possible. So that's what we're going to be doing. And I do want to say, the software guys, like I thought, have a solution for the side hill stuff. They call it their hillside kit. It's quite literally a divider that bolts in here, and this kind of goes straight back there. So that way, anything that comes out that gate kind of gets divided in half, and it keeps it divided to here as it gets handed off. Pretty easy solution. Wish I would have had that. Oh well. Now we're filling. First time putting fertilizer in. And I'm just getting loaded right now, so it looks like a rate of 267 pounds per acre. We're loaded up. So Nathan's down here with me. He's going to help me with a pan test. It's basically, like I said, see how even we are, and then we'll go from there. But I got a nice load. I can comfortably fit a full tender on this thing. I could put more in, but you know what? That's comfortable. I can load that by myself, no issues. And fertilizer is so dang expensive that you don't want to really overload it too much. So now I'm doing what's called a pan test. So we're basically just, this is how you calibrate your distribution. So we're quite literally just going to drive, spread, and see how evenly distributed we are.
Got our pan set out. I'm gonna back out on the road so I don't get any fertilizer on me. We're gonna try this. Sure, Ronald mentioned it. It's gonna be spreading 100 feet width. So pretty good swath. See how he goes. He's getting things set up right now, and hopefully take off in a minute here. All right, here he goes. See if he hits one of them. It's a little windy today. Boy, that's flinging it far. As you can tell, the wind is definitely a factor. It's a little close to the fence, but it's hard to tell. See how the pans look here. Oh, I guess it's coming back crossed. So he's got to drive over this end one, and then he's got to drive over that end one, and then we have to compare the tests here with how much fertilizer is in the box and see if we got an even amount. The old 340 is taking her pretty well. It's a pretty good load on. That's I guess I'm not even sure how much is on there, but it's a pretty damn good load.
So it looks pretty dang good right now. Really good, actually. What do you think? Maybe a little heavy center, but I don't think it's worth messing with it. What do you see?
That's pretty good.
Not bad for never touching this thing before.
Right. I mean, it's a tad, but that's nothing really.
Well, and it could be because, like, if you're raised up a little bit on a corn stalk, like,
right.
And we have wind, so honestly, I'd say send it. We are good enough for the pan test. Start packing it up, and now we can do the fun job. Start covering some acres. Not too bad, guys. Not too bad. We are ready to roll. Honestly, I was expecting that to be a lot worse. So I think we're ready. We're gonna send it. And yes, my knee still hurts. Fertilizer dust all over that other GoPro. So one thing I don't like about fertilizer is we're not putting down hardly any rate. So it's pretty hard to tell that stuff's coming out. So I am just coming back just to make sure stuff's coming down. Don't want to lose these my gloves. So let's climb up, make sure that I got stuff coming down. Oh yeah, we're starting empty. That's good. I love it. Cruising. Going about 14 miles an hour right now. Ooh, just a little damp there. It's a little wet. There was definitely a wet spot in there. Huh. We are done. Field is done, I should say. First 15 acres of fertilizer is spread. Sweet. Well, let's go see how we are doing, I should say. I should have looked and see where the fertilizer stops, where the fertilizer line is, but I should probably be able to guess it. So I'm seeing fertilizer, that's good. Should stop seeing it here shortly. There we go, no fertilizer. That's about right. So I got a 100-foot swath on this thing. This thing can go 120, but I don't want to go to 120 with these hills. I just feel like if I narrow it up a little bit, I have a more even application. Might take a little longer, but I'll take it though. Here we go, here's fertilizer. So what we're doing is we are putting on granular fertilizer, our N, P, and K. We're putting on a little bit of everything. Very little N, but more P and K. But we're just putting that on just to prep for corn. This is gonna be corn on corn ground. Looking for the rough place of where we overlap. And I don't see any much fertilizer here. Starting to see some. And here we go, here we're seeing a bunch. So let's walk straight out from the tractor and see roughly where our line is. I bet we're pretty close. Pretty close, look where my tractor's at. Right where I thought the fertilizer line was. Sweet. Yum. Lunch some Sloppy Joes and chips. It's not a grandma bucket lunch, but it's still pretty good. Rolling on some vertical till ground. This is actually going to be going to beans here next year. That's why it's vertical tilled. It actually did a really nice job. I really like what that coon can do. We do have the drone up in the air, and we are going to be following our Case IH Magnum 340 with the Sulfur BBI Magna Spread Plus. So this thing is going to be spreading fertilizer 100 feet wide. I don't know if I actually ever sped the specs of this thing. So it's going to spread fertilizer 100 feet wide. It could spread up to 120, but in my hills and everything inside hills, I just know I would not be getting the full 120 foot width. So I decided to keep with 100. And like I said, I've been very happy with the 100-foot performance of this thing. I'm able to spread with my current settings up to 15 miles an hour, just depending on the rate that I'm putting in. I could go faster, but you know what? That is plenty fast for me. You know, we're covering ground, 100-foot wide, 15 mile an hour. That's like an instant average of 200 acres an hour. That's pretty good. And after running this thing for roughly, I don't know, 3 to 4 days in fertilizer, I've actually been able to cover, if I can keep fertilizer with me, between 50 and 75 acres an hour. That time you stop, fill, move fields, all that fun stuff, because you're not always working. But you know what? You can really cover some serious ground, and it's really getting me thinking that, hey, you know what? we could really benefit from this in our operation. We could save some money, pick up fertilizer ourselves, save some money there. You know, like I said, it's going to be interesting to see what we end up doing. But we're in our long farm. It's one of our more scenic farms, as you can kind of see. We have our cattle pasture basically right north of where I was at right there. It's a lot of deer country, a lot of turkey country. Curtis will actually be turkey hunting up here probably in the next couple of days as turkey season is coming. So yeah, and now we're just moving just south of that tree line into a beans double field. We are doing the same rate for the beans double field, mainly just to make it easier for the fertilizer standpoint. But yeah, so we are really enjoying this Magna spread. So well, I hope you enjoyed that drone footage. Yeah, that was pretty good. So I am looking, I still got a decent amount of fertilizer left, so I must not be putting enough out. So let's go ahead and adjust my flow rate. See what all we got in here. Some fertilizer clumps. Just breaking them up. So the reason why we have these grates in here is because get a clump like that could plug up the gate if we didn't have it. I had a little bit of fertilizer left, but that's okay. I'm just waiting on fertilizer. Waiting. So while I'm on a half hour of waiting now, this is getting a little ridiculous. At least get you guys caught up. So I kind of screwed up. So you guys might have noticed, if you guys can catch it earlier in the video, but can you notice the setting that I had wrong? I actually under applied by 60% on the first two fields I did, so I had to go back through them and redo it to make sure they had the full rate. I still had my swath width set to 60 feet for lime. So even though I was putting the right rate on, it was only putting enough product out the back for 60 feet as opposed to 100, so I was essentially 40 feet short. Yeah, that sucked. Waste of time, yes, but honestly, wasn't that big a deal. A little bit of waste of time, a little bit of waste of fuel, but it is what it is. I'm new to this. I'm doing it all by myself. And that's just kind of the testament to how good and how easy the Salford system is to use. So, yeah, it's going good. I've spread about 96 to 100 acres, probably about 100 acres so far. Hopefully I'll get another 100 or so, 150 in, and then we'll just have to see how much more I can do. I'm kind of at the mercy of fertilizer right now. Here comes an old Apache sprayer. Emphasis on old. Huh. Called the fertilizer guy. They had a bearing go out on their load conveyor, so yeah. Been sitting for about right at an hour right now. Kind of sucks, but I can think of worse things at least. I'll see if we can give this to Nathan. He's gonna go do some chiseling. Finally, truck's here. Let's get filled up again. So this is a newer fertilizer truck. It's a little breezy from the south. Filling up. Filling. There we are. Let's roll. There's Nathan. Perfect timing. It's kind of nice thing about having a 2-track tractor. You can just zip around right like that. Get some chiseling done. Working in that fertilizer I just spread. Spreading. A little breezy, but we're gonna send it. So she's a little breezy, but it's go time. We gotta go. So I'm just looking at my distribution right now. Just looking for fertilizer. That's what I'm looking for, this fertilizer. So I'm right in between my overlap. I think we're doing all right. Check and see how much we got, how much is coming out. Monitor says we're about 20% empty. So Let's get a cool look. I'd say 20% empty is pretty accurate. All right, let's roll. Oh. These are some rough hills here. Whew. Just taking my time through them. Now it says I'm halfway done, and I'd say it's pretty accurate. Be pretty close at least. This is fertilizer. This is our blend: sulfur, potash, and MAP. A lot of rocks in there, but I'm glad, like I said, we have those grates. Yum. Got this thing in the middle of the field. That's fun. Got to move that. She's a little breezy, but gonna send it. This thing's actually pretty impressive. They said that we could spread in some wind, and I'm believing them because I've checked multiple times, and this distribution is pretty dang good. Well, Pat just picked up that fertilizer cart. Well, not fertilizer cart, that feed cart, so that's out of my way. I'll spread a little bit more. I just saw my fertilizer tender just got here, so I'll be able to finish this up, no problem. My tender driver got lost. Ha! Nice. So now we'll fill up one more time and go from there. I'll tell you this, guys, I just ate a face full of fertilizer and that stuff sucks. Oh my gosh. These cameras have been awesome. Well worth the roughly 200 bucks I spent on them. Well, this is new. This fence used to be trees. This is very new. To be honest, guys, I haven't been filming a lot because this has been going just good. Just been rolling. Getting stuff done. Acres knocked out. Okay, let's see how much we got left. I'm just about out. Don't have a lot left in this field. How much? I should be able to finish though. That's good. Neighbor out putting some gas on with his old sweet Versatile. Awesome. Okay, we're ready to roll. All emptied out. Let's head back to the farm. Okay, made it back. So now time to load up with some Rhizazorb. That's actually going to be in tomorrow's video. So I'm actually going to close out the video here very shortly because I want to basically have all one video about this trial that I'm going to do with Rhizazorb. So go ahead, open this up actually. So first day spreading fertilizer, 2 words: holy crap. Did 240 acres in roughly 4 hours of choppy ground. It's not flat ground, it's choppy ground. And then I was waiting for fertilizer for another 2 hours. So really, this thing's a beast. Like, oh man, this thing is an absolute hoss. So I'm happy with it. It was spreading pretty even in pretty windy conditions. So honestly, I'm really happy with it.
Got another beautiful night. Doing some chiseling on cow ground. We had cows out on these stalks. Just gonna finish this field tonight and gonna work that field tomorrow. It's working out pretty decent. Sounds like another shot of rain coming Monday, Tuesday. So trying to get all the tillage done where the cows were before then. Then we'll be good to hook planters up. Hopefully things dry out, we can get after it.
So I cannot wait to use this thing tomorrow. You guys are gonna want to stay tuned tomorrow. I got a trial I'm setting up and I'm really looking forward to it. So you're gonna want to stay tuned for that. So thank you guys so much for watching. Take care, take it easy, stay safe, and ta-ta for now.